today mentioned how you wanted to tell this group step up, like next guy up type mentality.
Yeah.
How did that really culminate here tonight from top to bottom on this roster?
Yeah, sorry. I thought tonight was a great representation of what this group has been, and it was good to see us play that way for 60 minutes. You know, in the first period, I thought we defended hard. We got out of our zone fast, things that we talked about before the games. Some things offensively, I thought we did a really good job of managing the puck in the O zone. Really, when we talk about ground game, playing below the circles, the guys really bought into that. I thought we did a great job tracking back in our own zone. You know, when you look at the shots they had, I think they had a lot of shots, you know, on the power play, but I thought 5-on-5, we did a great job defending in our own zone, getting in shot lanes. And then Dev, when we had breakdowns, he made those timely saves, which is really huge for our group. But, you know, the guys coming, you know, Tisher gets off of a plane, you know, plays. Gertson's back there, you know, forward for our group, plays D. You know, Fulper's coming up from the East Coast Hockey League, had a great game tonight. Novikov was great. Johnson was great. Like, Belly played a really solid game, just a really – and every forward was committed. You know, I think about the play in the third period. Rosie's, you know, one of the most talented players in the league. We're up 3-0, and he puts a puck behind him and then gets in on the forecheck, and then we get a big-time O-zone shift. I thought in the second period we, you know, could have managed it a little better with our puck play, getting pucks behind, but I thought we did a great job defending. And just all-out effort from the group.
Overall, some of those D-core guys that came up from Jacksonville, to be able to step up in that moment and really not have any hesitation in doing those little things, how is that maybe showing the culture that is built here, that they have that confidence from day one? Yeah, no, it's I think that you're right, the character of the individual, and you know, they have something to prove coming up here, and I like the guys didn't, you know, they didn't play tentative. I think sometimes when you know, we try to not to give those guys, you know, sit down with 20 minutes and go over all the systems. Like, you play hard and compete. Okay, if mistakes happen, that's fine, but as long as you're doing those things and your habits are really good, you got to go out there and play. Tisher, Fulper, you know, Belly's first, you know, full year in the league. These guys have done an incredible job for us all year. And you know, when you got character kids like I talked about this morning, and guys who work hard, have a really good process, you know, you have a chance to win games no matter who's up, who's down, who's out, and you know, that's a great example of that tonight.
You relied on a lot of guys who, you know, probably aren't playing the minutes they played tonight.
Yeah, no, that, you know, I thought Nads had a great game tonight. You know, he's playing really good hockey. He's earned the right to play every night. You know, we challenged him last year when he was with us, and then early in the year when he wasn't in the lineup, of winning wall battles. He has a really good stick down low. He's really good on the forecheck. You always see him behind the net. He's one of our best players at getting pucks low to high. He has really good detail in his game, and you know, I thought, you know, Red doing what he's doing, solidifying a fourth line role for us, you know, as a young player in the American Hockey League, and I think Slags and War Dog, those guys have, you know, no one's replacing when they had Josh Dunn with those guys, you know, no one. You don't have 6'4", 215 out there and 67% on faceoffs, but it's given us a nice balance because I like playing everybody, you know. I like rolling the four lines and getting everyone engaged, and Lish's line played good. You know, Rosie's line, you know, I thought was excellent. You know, missed a few scoring opportunities. You need guys to make big-time plays. Rosie made a big-time play in that situation. And then I gave Kuntz and Rosie a hard time for the empty nets. You know, those are freebies that you got to score.
Joshua kind of lived in front of their net.
Yeah, he was. You look at that first goal. First, he gets it on the forecheck. He stays on the puck. You know, he has the ability to do that. Also, I thought our penalty kill was really good tonight. You know, he's a big part of that. And like you said, you need guys to step up. And you know, guys probably haven't played this many minutes, you know, since they were, you know, probably U18 level, you know, or junior hockey. And really proud of the group. We talked about it before the game. I give them a lot of credit, and I respect them a lot. We've played 39 games, and there hasn't been a game where have we won them all? No, but we've always been in them, and that's really hard to do, to be consistent. Sure, we haven't been our best at times, but to do that consistently for 39 games, it speaks to the grit of that's the best way to describe this group.
You had 7+ periods of shutout hockey at home.
Yeah.
Consecutively now, what's the secret here?
We really, focused on like checking, like really, if you would have told me we would have been a top 7, 18 goals wise with how many, I would have thought you were, crazy looking at that. But when you look at the goals against, we're right at in between 14 and 18 goals against. We got to get that number down where it's under 3. And the guys are really committed that there's a lot that goes into it. I thought even the last 2 games in Syracuse, really heavy physical team, we did a really good job of, hitting and pinning in the corner, protecting the good ice. Also I thought we were above a lot of pucks, not giving up odd man rushes. Sure, there's breakdowns, but those things are really important. And then anytime, you're only giving up less than 25, 20 to 25 shots, that's a good, that means you're getting in shooting lanes. You're not spending as much time in your D zone. You're blocking shots. Guys are sacrificing. But it's been talked about with the group, like, as it gets harder down the season, we got to really focus on our checking game. It's not about how many you score. It's how many you got. It has to be our net first. It always, I believe in that. And guys have, we're starting to make strides in that area, which is really good to see.
Coach, you had early success against this team.
Yes.
And in the past 2 matchups, they got you that.
Yes.
Talk about this particular matchup, though. What allowed you to duplicate the success that you had earlier in the season to get these guys this time?
Yeah, no, it's a really good question. They, throughout the course of the season, they early in the season, they had a lot of big-time pieces out of their lineup, with New Jersey being hurt. They have a really skilled group. They could really hurt you off the rush. The Hallinens, the Crookshanks, these guys played in the NHL. So we really focused on making sure we were above the puck and we were not giving up odd man rushes. That was really important. They're a really fast breakout team out of their scrum situations, and we had to make sure that our reloads and tracking were faster than their breakouts, because if you give them time and space, they'll hurt you. And I thought we did a good job of minimizing what their strengths are.
What's going to be the message to the guys with a short turnaround tomorrow against Cleveland?
Yeah, just rest and recover. Enjoy this. We're not going to bring anyone to the ring tomorrow because it's a quick turnaround. And anytime you win in this league, it's you have to enjoy it and be proud. But it's really important that you go home, you take care of yourself, you recover, you get everything taken care of, and just be ready to go tomorrow with the same effort.
How many guys can make that play, Rosie?
Not many.
Carry out your own
No, not many. The speed,
Slide,
the
whatever
speed, just his ability to create. Even in the third period, like the 2 posts on that power play, he's been a huge. You look at the game in Belleville, he scores 3. We get it to the overtime late. His ability to change the game is high level as it comes in this league, and I really, he's made a conscious effort to, the things that are gonna get Rosie to the next level of being good on the walls, his version of compete, skating, pressuring the puck. And I thought Rosie's, the play I talked about, he's really buying into that, and he's getting rewarded.
And it was, I'm sure, good from your perspective to see him respond that way instead of him not being the call.
Yeah, no, it is. I think Rosie's done a really good job of staying in the moment and not worried about, and it's a really good point, because a lot of times in the world we live in, it's easy for a young player to, why is that guy getting called up, or why is it not me? And Rosie's just worried about, his process and what he has to do to get better. And I think it starts in practice. We've been really, focusing on those areas, and I thought he's doing a great job of staying on more pucks and using his speed. He's never going to be, Kuntar or Jags. We're not asking him to go run guys through the glass, but he has the ability to play a physical game in a different way of getting on top of people and pressuring people on the forecheck, and that was a great example of that third period shift. I'm really proud of Rosie, and I think his game's in a really good place right now, and you know, it's asking a lot of him too right now. You know, with the guys that we have, he's got to be consistent every night, and he's done a great job of that.
The shoot you're talking about, that's the one against 44 where he dumped
Yeah,
it and
yeah.
then went and got it?
Yeah, like that. That's a great example of Rosie's version of, you know, where Jags or Kuntar, they're probably, you know, putting that guy through the glass, and the crowd's going. But for me, that's also a level of physicality to Rosie's game, and he stays on the puck. You know, 6 minutes left in the game, second effort, and then we get, you know, a great ozone shift out of that. So those are the things that. You know, even the puck support on the breakout, he's not blowing the zone. He's right there, and then uses his speed to make that play. So it's really good to see. Thanks.
Thanks, appreciate it.
See you
Tomorrow?
Shut it out.
Oh, good.
You guys have a good night.
Yeah, you too. Yeah,